Hello everyone, I am back. This time I'm doing my persuasive speech, and like I had stated last time, many of you know that I am a server, and my argument or my persuasion is that I believe servers need to be paid a minimum wage in Pennsylvania at $7.25 as opposed to $2.83. I feel as though the work you put in, the hours you put in, and even the after hours after your shift that you put in, your paycheck after 2 weeks really isn't worth it. So I'm going to start off by showing you an example, and I will come closer. This was my paycheck of 2 weeks, $34.70 at $2.83 an hour, and I believe the number of hours I have on that pay stub were almost 40. But with taxes being taken out and all that, that is what I was left with after 2 weeks. Now, I know most of you are thinking, oh, well, you get tipped, and those tips average out, and, you get the credit card tips and so on and so forth. But what a lot of you don't realize is that this is just not enough to sustain any normal living situation. Now, for me, it's a college job, but for many of the people that I work with, this is their livelihood. They have bills they have to pay, they have a family they have to raise, and they need to put food on the table. Therefore, when all that money runs out that they just made, generally a lot of it over the weekend, this is what they're left with, is 34, 44, even we could, generalize $64. $64 and raising a family and paying your bills just isn't going to cut it. Therefore, I think that the minimum wage at $7.25 would be a better option, almost as a safety net for those that, do have that feeling, that do have those bills, that have to pay for health insurance. And, maybe that is something that could be taken into consideration. Maybe it doesn't have to be everybody all at once. Maybe it could be those that would need it right away. Such as the problems that I had listed before. Now, what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to do aren't going to happen right away. It's not going to jump from $2.83 an hour to $7.25 an hour. However, there are things that I feel like could be done. When you're supposed to tip, or as a server, how I feel you're supposed to tip, is 20% of your bill. And a lot of the problem that comes with this is that people don't know that they have to tip sometimes because they are naive to the fact that we do only get $2.83 an hour, or B, they don't know how much. I've had plenty of times where I've had parties of 10, 15 people rack up, a $200+ bill and only leave me $20 or $30 thinking, oh, that's great, that's enough, we loved her, so on and so forth. But maybe they just were ignorant to the fact that they truly didn't know how to tip. So one of the things that I think should happen is that a mandatory 20% gratuity should be added to every check, no matter how small of a party, how little the check is, just so that that server is going to make up for that $2.83 an hour. For those of you that don't know how to tip, and that's fine, that's why I'm here, I'm going to show you. Let's say you go out with someone, a friend, your significant other, what have you, and your bill comes out to $30. Okay. What my mother had always taught me from the beginning is that you move the decimal over and you look at it as $3. Moving that decimal makes that 10%. So, to get 20, all you do is multiply by 2. Leaving your server with $6, which is a totally acceptable tip on a $30 bill. So remember, move the decimal over, get your 10%, multiply it by 2, and get your 6%. So, there is that. What also could happen is if somebody is strong-willed enough and has enough time in their life to start a petition or have a bill be passed through Senate, whatever, go to your local representative, is to have that minimum wage push I understand that McDonald's and other fast food chains are going through that right now. Now, granted, they don't get tipped out, but they are trying to fix their minimum wage from $7.25 to a higher rate. I believe if this was a strong enough petition and a strong enough issue, that everybody, including those of you watching this video, could partake in, there might be a chance that that $2.83 an hour in Pennsylvania could be raised. So what I'm asking you is just remember, keep some things in mind. We don't get paid hourly. Not everybody tips us great. So when you're out and you think, oh, my service was just okay, it could have been better, just remember all the things that we have to do. You're probably not our only table, and we're running around and we're, delivering food for other people. Just remember that we are trying our hardest for you. And do try to remember, if you can, that 20% tip, and help us out, and maybe we could get a movement starting here from bumping $2.83 an hour to $7.25. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, guys.